Massage therapist or masseurs, have you ever had a session turn sexual with a client? How did it go down? Hi Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will sleep in a trailer. Former esthetician here. Not a masseuse, but I performed waxing on all parts of the body, so I certainly have a story or two. So, there's the Brazilian wax, which is everything gone from your downstairs, front and back. Salons have a male version they cheekily like to call manzillions. I've had a number of these, and without fail, when it comes time to take the towel away and start, there's at least a semi-chub going on. I'd explain that this happens with everyone, as peanuts isn't very self-aware. They just know they're out, there's a lady, and they're just happy to be there. I'd then place my first strip of wax, let it set, then re-ipe, and it would be like letting the air out of a balloon. Strangely, I never got any phone numbers. Oh, and to do your b-hole you have to be on all fours. Big missed opportunity to call it a Brazilian. In the game BitLife it actually is called a Brazilian pack, and it says you get your back, sack, and crack waxed. Just curious, is an ethics class part of the coursework when getting your massage license? One of my friend's exes was a massage therapist. She said she constantly had people asking for handjobs or to wear a low-cut shirt and such. Don't actual places for that exist in every major city? Why bother someone who could lose their job over it? Chances of them calling the cops is low. Going to a known rub and tug could be a great chance to get arrested for prostitution and in trouble with the wife. Why the frick is everyone's mum a massage therapist? Most therapists don't massage 40 hours a week. Most therapists work non-traditional hours. Combine the two and you have an excellent profession for women who need to provide childcare. Plus the schooling it takes often is offered on nights and weekends and can be completed way shorter than a 2 or 4 year degree. Selection bias. People whose moms and massage therapists aren't responding. My mum is a massage therapist. She has worked at several chiropractic offices. Oftentimes, if you're good enough and trustworthy enough, the chiropractors will give you the key so you can see clients on the weekends. I once had to take an Uber to her work when she was scheduled to massage this one guy. He was married and new to the US. He had been sending messages to my mum, which made her question his intent, but chalked it up to him not speaking a lot of English. I get a call from her telling me to Uber to her place of work as soon as possible. Apparently the guy had sent a message with this code phrase that in the massage world means things are going to become sexual. So I'm the first to arrive. My mum gets there and tries to downplay the situation to make herself feel better by saying things like, well, maybe he just didn't know what that meant. I could be drawing a conclusion that isn't true. He has a wife after all. Man comes in with candy and flowers. He sees me sitting in the chair really confused. Hands them to my mom. She massages him. He pays her. Gives me a sideways glance. And leaves. Son joins mother to give stress relieving massage to foreign guy MP4. This is the best one. My stepdad is a professional massage therapist. Asking him for stuff like that is answered with a no, and continuing means you're no longer a client. Stepdad. Huh. I think that they had to find a new massage therapist. How I Met Your Mother. Not my story, but a co-worker's. He was giving a massage to a client and things were getting flirty. She was an attractive woman and he pushed it. Well, I guess he sucked at reading clues, because she was married and was being friendly. She filed a complaint on him and he ended up losing his license. How did he push it? Asked her or tried to escalate by being a bit more intimate with his massage. I don't recall exactly, just that he tried. Tried to escalate by being a bit more intimate with his massage. Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Misread her sign and you're essentially sexually assaulting her. He's lucky he only lost his job. Could have been criminally charged as well. Happened to a former friend of mine. Misread some signs, or created imaginary signs in his mind. Tried to escalate the massage by massaging a more intimate area. She shut it down and called the cops. He ended up being convicted of some degree of sexual assault for the attempted or actual digital penetration. sentenced to a year in a workhouse and pretty much lost everything in his life. My mum was a massage therapist for a few years. Never shared if when she had issues like that, but there was one couple who would come in 4 separate sessions about every 2-3 weeks. Apparently one day, the wife jokes that the massages are better than X. My mum, since they're all on good terms, jokes with the husband about it the next time he's in. He pulls his head out of the pillow long enough to say, "Don't make me choose. I can't choose." I was totally expecting this to take a turn somewhere and I'm glad it didn't. Surprisingly wholesome. I'm a physiotherapist, but I have extensive training in deep tissue massage and dry needling. Pretty much every time I treat my girlfriend it ends with X. Probably the closest thing to an answer you're gonna get. You're probably not gonna hear any stories about people with licenses doing anything sexual with someone, as if it ever got out they would immediately lose their billing number. But I will say I've worked in a gym before where the RMT was sleeping with a few of his patients in and outside of the gym. What is dry needling? I think it's when a guy with a really thin peanuts tries to have X with a woman, but she isn't turned on at all. Or as I call it, normal X. I have different side of story. I was about 15 years old when that happened and it still gives me creeps. After a car accident I was assigned a massage therapist to massage my shoulder, since it was injured. Nothing else, just my hand and shoulder. So I come to this session and I see this really young guy waiting for me. I asked him, "Can I keep my clothes?" and he said that I should be in my underwear. Already felt weird, but whatever, I carried on. So I lay on the table and he massages me, when suddenly he starts massaging my back, then lower back. I already felt super uncomfortable at this point. And then he pulls a bit of my underwear. And think of fact that his hands were really oily, he slipped his hands right in between my ass. Oh my god. It was almost the end of the session and it did not last long, but I was so shocked that I freezed. I dressed up and I went to the reception to cancel any sessions with him. I did not report the ass accident. All the receptionist said. What went wrong? The old ladies love this guy. You will make one happy by giving your space. Old ladies love ass accidents. Oh, I have a story as a client. I used to live in a great city located in Southern California. Across the street where I lived was a massage parlor ran out of an old historic home. I used to frequent as much as I could afford and things were great, or so I thought. I had never been to a masseuse before then and thought big tubs, showers, and champagne was normal since it was the only point of reference I had. After each session I had, the ladies frequently asked me if I needed anything else or wanted to extend. Being very budget conscious, I'd say no thank you. It was great though. I'd get dressed and go home. On my last occasion though, things just felt off. She had me flip from my stomach and massaged my quads and let her fingers drift a little and would ask me if I wanted anything more. I'd sheepishly reply no. This is great. Thank you. As we finished she asked me one more time if I'd like anything else, but I declined. A few weeks later I'm walking home from work and the police are all over my street. As many of you have already guessed, they were busting the place for being a known brothel. I tiptoed back home and waited for them to come to my house and bust me, but thankfully that never happened, smiley face. Meanwhile, all of your neighbors saw you frequent the joint and have labeled you the town perv. Oh my god. This explained so much. In 15 years, I've had 4 guys try to turn the session sexual. Grosses me out. I make sure to give their name and phone number to all of my therapist friends as a heads up, because if they tried with me, they're gonna try another therapist until they get lucky. Friend. Thanks for the heads up. Immediately books appointment with the dude. My mum and dad ran their own massage therapy business. My mum always said if a guy started giving any kind of signals that she would just start asking him about his mother. She said it never failed her. Boy is she gonna be surprised one day when some guy with an Oedipus complex shows up for a massage. My mother, well you look a lot like her. Well, he imagines she does. Hard to tell with his eyes gouged out. Oddly enough Oedipus didn't actually want to sleep with his mother. He found it was his mother later and gouged his eyes out. My mom's a masseuse and she says there are a lot of instances where clients try to make things sexual, but she never reciprocate, but it can get pretty nasty. One time she told me that a dude asked her to massage down there and she refused, so he grabbed her boob and just kept his hand there for a while, and my mum didn't know what to do, so she just kept doing her job. There are also instances of people calling to make appointments and ending the call with do you guys suck it, because I guess they think they're being subtle. Other than that, there's a lot of unnecessarily sexual moaning, but my mum just thinks that's funny. Your mum had every right to end the session and walk out right there. A guy I know ended up dating his chiropractor. There was mild flirting for a few sessions, and then she messaged him to say that he would need to switch to getting treated by a different chiro at the practice. He was pretty disappointed until she hinted, because we aren't allowed to date our clients. Double quote. Few weeks later. So, babe, Dr. Steven doesn't do that in a quad massage that you used to do. Was that? Yup. Totes inappropriate. 10 out of 10 would injure back again. Freaking Dr. Stevens. That's the goal. Yo, I'm a massage therapist, and I just wanna say that it is not inappropriate to massage all of the leg, as long as proper draping is maintained. Meaning anything I'm not massaging is covered with a securely tucked sheet and I stay on my side of the sheet and mind my damn business. I massage that are pretty frequently on athletes, especially cyclists, and people who have recently had to alter their gait, like learning to walk with a cane or completing physical therapy. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will sleep in a trailer.